Welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe round of 16. It is, of course, Group D, and we are almost done for the round of 16. The group draws for round of 8 will be happening at the end of the programme, so don't go too far away at the end of our last match. Our winners bracket game is upon us. Let's check in with the bracket and show you the road to that upper bracket final. It's StarDust versus San after their initial wins, and LiveZerg after winning 2-1 against the, well, I guess you could say the experienced Nurchio that didn't pay off in the lower bracket. LiveZerg lives once more. Demuslim's back with me. Are you surprised at all about that result, LiveZerg and Nurchio? They were pretty closely matched up on paper anyway.
Yeah, they were very closely matched up. I mean, past history was 6-5 in Nurchio's favour. 2-1 either way, wouldn't have surprised anybody. Nurchio going out 2-1, 2-1, so was almost there in both of his matches. Sad to see him go, but LiveZerg, he held it together. His composure was very good. He hasn't slept at all, I don't think, but he's playing well regardless.
Calm as ever, though, wasn't he? Did you, I mean, you see the interview, he's just like, no problem, whatever, no problem.
Yeah,
just copes with everything.
Yeah, he seems a lifeful guy. But, I mean, it doesn't get much easier. San or StarDust next for him, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, okay, let's concentrate on that game right now. The players are in the centre circle for Matt Vito, so let's discuss these two. They were the out-and-out favourites in this group. We knew that at the start of the day. But how do they compare to each other? StarDust, he's feisty, he can be cheesy, he can just trick you with whatever he's got. San said earlier on he's been playing the same build for a year now and nobody's found him out, so he'll just keep sticking to what he knows best and play his standard game the way he sees it. It's a very different clash of styles, despite the fact that they're both Korean Protoss. Different
clashes of styles in that which units they like to go for. San likes to go for tech kind of play and does it very well, whereas StarDust, very gateway-centric, but they're both extremely aggressive, so we could see some real feisty play from both of them here, but
it's getting feisty in the map vetoes already. Look, they're just flying through the 3-god already.
Yeah, in PvP, and these guys especially, they know exactly what's good for them. Yeah. We see Way Station gone, Merry-Go-Round, Altazine. Same three again. Top 3 maps in the pool, King Sejong, Frost, and Overgrowth. And look at them both joking around here too. StarDust is, he is a little joker, but
no, he is.
Every map is a single 1v1 map, and that means that we can see things like proxies go down. And between these two, if you can edge out a victory like that in a very, very tense PvP, you're doing well. We got to see SOS against Hero whip out 2 proxies in a best of 7 in a row, so anything could happen.
We haven't seen an awful lot of proxies in the round of 16, actually, or any real major cheese, that has to be said. So what is that change? Because there's quite a lot in Season 1. What do you think the difference is?
Lack of Terrans. I mean,
yes.
It could be. I mean, cheese is still very, very good, and the fact that we're not seeing, I think everybody just realizes, hey, this is so serious here. There's a lot of money to be won, and when cheese fails, you really do look stupid. You don't want to go out like that. We have so many good players here that they're all really counting on their skill and their practice, and none of these players are taking this lightly.
Spoke to StarDust a little early on in the interview, and he, I said to him, to the fact that your nickname, your fun nickname is Cheese Dust or Star Cheese, depending on which way you want to use it. Does that help you a little bit? Because players then are a bit more wary. They're all like, oh, God, we never know what he's going to quite do. And he said, yeah, absolutely, it's good. But he's playing much more of a macro game now. He prefers to play those kind of games rather than the cheese. So does that give him an advantage against someone like San?
Yes, it does. It gives you an advantage against anybody, I think. The fact that somewhere in your mind, you know that this guy can do anything and has done anything. It stops you from skipping corners that could give you leads in other directions, such as, hey, well, should I go for this 3rd base here? It could work out, but no, against this guy, he's done this before. This could beat me in this way. You always have to think about, hey, what is your opponent doing here? So a player like StarDust, having that under his belt, you have to play honest against him. But likewise with San, we've seen him really, really go for killing blows shamelessly. Like, he makes people look rather bad, but it's not them looking bad. He's just so good. So both these players have a strength that not many other Protossers share.
Yeah, they've played each other 4 times in matches. StarDust won the first 3 out of those against San. San won the last one. So slight advantage to San in terms of more recent form, I guess. But 3-1's a decent record against a guy who's been playing really, really well in the last 12 months.
Right, it definitely is. San is one of the scariest players we have in the entire WCS. Very solid Protoss indeed. So the fact that StarDust does have a winning ratio against him bodes well for him. But the fact that San won the latest series between them, or the latest game, that means a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, StarDust's best matchup is PvP statistically.
Oh.
We know that San is actually very good PvZ, but his PvP is not too shabby either.
San, he's a caliber of player. He's won tournaments and such. You can never be terrible if you win tournaments. 14-8 against Protosses, 35-13 all time. He's still looking very, very solid.
Yeah, some great stats on the screen for San there, and StarDust will show you in just a minute. We said earlier on as well, the two highest ranked in this group for WCS points. We're obviously talking a little bit more about points as we get through the seasons because they're becoming so critical. Kalaris said yesterday, actually, during one of the commentaries, that we've already had as many tournaments this year that we had all of last year in the WCS points, and that seems incredible. We're only halfway through the year, but there's still a lot more to come. But there's only one more WCS season to come, which is why these players really need maximum points that they can get out of the WCS Europe right now.
Certainly do. I mean, even if you're doing well at this point, you can get knocked out very easily because there's so many players striving for extra points and such. StarDust here looking very calm as always, in fact. But yeah, they probably know that they were going to play each other, you know, going into the group. They both had a European, but also Zerg, and they're both exceptionally good against Zerg. So I think I hope they've been studying each other, and we're probably going to see some sick mind games from these guys. They've known about this matchup for weeks now, and I'm really looking forward to see what they're both going to show.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Terran bias aside from both of us right now at the Terran table, of course, PvP's not always my favourite matchup, but when these two go head-to-head, there's going to be some fireworks. Let's hope it's the same this evening. Our winners bracket game is upon us. It's San versus StarDust for a place in the round of 8. Let's go to the commentators. It's Kalaris and Apollo.
Thanks very much, guys. All right. We now have our PvP on the way. It's kind of what we were expecting from the winners match, as these two are pretty darn good.
Yeah, these two players have met multiple times in the past, and they have produced some of the highest quality Protoss versus Protoss games to have seen. So I'm expecting a lot from both of them today. I do not want to see any cannon rushes, please, StarDust, and I don't want to see any proxy gates, please, San. I want to see the longer games. Show me the games.
Show us the game. Show us the macro. Let's find out now on Frost what is going to happen here. One of these guys is going to the round of 8 to be our next Protoss there, to continue on through WCS Season 2 here in Europe as we now get into our first map. Let's jump right into Frost. All right, spawning up to the top right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss. Representing my insanity, it's StarDust. Hopefully. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss. Representing Yo Flash Wolves, it's San.
Okay, it is time to battle. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
4-player map. Obviously not as easy to scout, straight and easy. So you usually see a lot of macro builds here, and a lot of the safety precautions not used because it is a 4-player map, which is highly unlikely to have any proxies or cannon rushes. So you don't see scouts that early inside their main base or natural. As you can see so far, neither player have done that. Because that would be incredible if that was to be the case, if that was to happen to one of them. So I'm expecting 13 gateways apiece and pretty fast double gases quite soon too.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. And I think, you know, one of the reasons why I'm saying at the very beginning, you know, that he has a name of dubbed being StarDust is because StarDust's PvP came on leaps and bounds in how it evolved. He was initially very, very, very cheesy in this matchup, but the past season or so of WCS, now into this one as well, he's actually really powerful when it comes to the macro in this matchup.
Yeah.
More so than he's ever been.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's looking awesome. Both players double gases up and running. Usually scouts go down across map after the cyber core is done. Is one of the more common times to scout out here to know where your opponent is spawning. And from this opening, I mean, this is the opening to use in the matchup. The most standard opening from both. And San isn't scouting.
Doesn't really care at this point, I guess.
No, so he may be building a sentry pretty early on and maybe just going 1 gate expansion straight away. And is only going to use the Hallucinate Phoenix to scout if he's not going to send out a probe early. That's just a guess. Complete stab in the dark. Whereas StarDust is looking for a bit more intel to know where his opponent is.
Yeah, he loses a lot of mining time actually going with this probe. The wrong direction, unfortunately, there for StarDust. Again, it's just really a stab in the dark. Wow, this is going to be really fast. Really, really fast.
Twilight straight away before any unit, and then sends out a late scout from a probe. And he's going in the right way by the looks of it. Oh, no, you're not. Never mind.
It's heading south, sadly.
So both Twilight cancels. Let's see where they go from here. We may see Blink. We could see DTs.
Yeah, much greedier, though, from San in the end, really. Yeah. Much greedier. His units are going to be slower from here on out. And if we do see Dark Templars from both of them, that'll be quite amusing. I was kind of expecting a bit of just craziness in these games as the Dark Shrine, because they've both been joking around with each other all day long. So,
but we're about to see Stardust Mothership Core come down this right-hand side. Intel is the most important here. Stardust sees that there is no expansion early. We have a pylon from San randomly on the left-hand side in case his opponent was top left to put his DTs into the game. And a Stalker from Stardust is going to not scout anything.
No, it would have stuck around and died if it had. So it's a bit sad for him. Dark Templars versus Dark Templars. This is where the game gets weird, guys, if no one throws down a Robo. And it's going to be really late for San, considering that he just went for a Nexus, if he does go for Robo.
Stardust with the earlier scout has actually got the better and faster pylon.
What?
Robo for both.
This could normalize out.
Yes,
where's the pylon for San? Is it only that one on the left, and that's it?
He'll build a new one really close.
But wow, okay.
Well, I say that, but he might not. So yes, it is only that one over there.
Yeah, this is this is just gonna.
But there's no Nexus yet for Stardust.
Probe got him. I don't think it saw the Robo in the end. But
no, I didn't see anything again.
Yeah.
2 DTs from Stardust. Could get some damage done into the probe line here before the Observer's out.
Single DT from San. He does start Blink behind that, so he forgoes any more. And I think he may end up realizing he's bringing the Stalker back.
Yeah,
he may have seen
realizes.
The blur.
He builds another pylon in case it was turned off.
Yeah, very, very important that.
So it's all about the probes. Doesn't want to lose any probes really, and he gets 1 DT out. He knows he's going to lose them in a bit, so.
Yeah, already activates Fallen Overcharge. He's actually going for the surround as that Observer pops.
3 DT kills, or 3 were kills, and the opposite DT can't actually get into the main, or actually can just now, but the Observer's about to pop 2.
Yeah.
Nice hold.
And the same Photon Overcharge in a very, very similar manner. Will deal with that, and no worker's dead. So in the end, Stardust did all right.
Yes, but San has a much faster Nexus. So I do like San's position here.
It's crazy how that's actually worked out.
Yeah, they just kind of bounced off each other. A little bit of damage, and then the game's going on. Immortal production already beginning for Stardust, though. That is an advantage that he can take. But we do have Blink from San. And he is building more and more Stalkers. And he's currently at 5 to 3.
They've got to be careful with how they do this, or at least Stardust does. He only has 1 Observer at this point. If San wanted to try and go for another DT at some point and Stardust was moved out for some reason, then that could always be a factor. But that's a little way down the road for now. As
DT chasing a probe.
No! I
want to build a forward pylon!
He could actually build one and then die. Oh, that Stalker blocked it, maybe. It was close, but anyway.
All right, well, this isn't going to work for San. And unfortunately, his investment in Blink shall not pay off. I don't think it's going to pay off, at least. And that does push Stardust slightly more in the lead, in my opinion. IMO. Because I prefer having Immortals here. 2 of them. And a 3rd one building.
Upgrades are always going to be nice, though. With that Forge now coming in here for San. So eventually getting +1 would be tasty. Along with this. Did Stardust never threw down a Forge, right? So
no, not yet. And I think he may push out soon with the immortal advantage that he has. I think he's would be wise to do so. He's seen his opponent's got Blink and is invested in Blink and knows that immortals would be late. Would be an opportunity to strike. Though there is an observer. Well, actually, that's StarDust observer, so never mind. RoboBay is going down, yeah.
And the thing is that if you do push out with the immortals, there's always the chance of a backstab by those stalkers, right? So he's got to be a little apprehensive about kind of trundling across the entire map. At least he finds the observer, though. That kind of alleviates the stalkers being a bit annoying on that left flank.
Yeah, so currently Sand just in a little bit of an economic position, an upgrade position. Pretty decent, actually, with his +1 finishing. Or close to finishing, whereas StarDust only just now thrown down the Forge. Dog Templar of StarDust is kind of looking to do some damage, but overall, quite a equal game.
Yeah.
Which is quite good if you like to see lots of lasers and stuff, because the longer the game goes, obviously, in the equal positions that they're in, the better it is. But 3 gateways coming down for San. Going to go up to a total of 6. But I don't think there's any opportunities. There might be, but a much greedier third thrown in by StarDust just off the back of 3 gateways.
I mean, despite everything, all these little pokes and prods that have happened, it's been quite the calm game.
Yeah.
With the third now going down for StarDust.
Even more gateways from San, though. He's gone up to 8 gateways. That's a lot of units. And if he starts producing a lot of Stalkers soon, then he could very easily move out with a big push. While taking a third of his own is cool to do so, but deleting your opponent's third is a big move.
Yeah, StarDust knows that that third just isn't there, right? With the Dark Templar.
Yeah. So he's got to be wary a little bit.
So he certainly has to prepare. That's one thing.
Yeah, he's just seen all the gateways.
Yeah.
So now is the time where I'm StarDust and I'm like, wow! And I will probably add some more gateways on because your opponent's got 8, man, and you're on 5. Now 6, 7, 8. Okay, 6, 7, and then Templar Archives. That's okay.
Yeah, he can't propel himself too far forwards, though, with tech, because he's behind weapons.
Yeah, Sam knows about his opponent's third, too, remember? So he knows he's behind.
So what are you going to do? It looks like he is moving out. He's bringing a probe with that army. How many Colossi does he have? It's 2 against 1, but a second one's just about to pop for StarDust, so there isn't going to be too much room there either. He has to wait until his +2 weapons finishes. It's almost exactly the same scenario as the ZVZ we just had before, because if he hits before +2, then it will be 1-1, and it will be relatively equal, but with the defender's advantage of StarDust.
Well, the ship call's not even with this army, so it's not like he can recall.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful, San.
Oh, he's taking a third behind this. It's just a prod.
Yeah, well, he's not too far behind, but ideally would have liked to have done a bit more damage here. From StarDust, realizing his opponent's moved out, moves in.
Ooh, sneaky little guy.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice move.
There is that observer still sitting around in the main base, though, so not too much was done with that at all. Just a little pull of the probes off the mineral line.
But a big +2 attack advantage for San.
Yeah.
Big +2 attack. Armies a little bit in favor of San.
Very close game so far. Very close. A little bit of an economical advantage for StarDust if he gets onto that third base quickly.
I would even say that StarDust has the better army, just not the larger army.
Yeah.
He has 2 Immortal advantage and 2 Archon advantage. That's pretty big. So
it depends how the Zealots come in, because with Charge done for Sansoon, he has quite a lot of Zealots, 15 to 6. So if they come in from a good angle, then maybe that can mess around with the Colossi and they do bridge that gap quicker, but it's gonna be difficult.
Well, San still building up that army size, and he's at +2 now, and he's moving forward here. I think we might see these 8 gateways come into fruition here, so he's going to move forward. Is this +2 attack advantage that he has going to be good enough with the numbers advantage that he has as well, which is a lot of Zealots?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like this angle if you're going to try and use the Zealots to your advantage. Woo! Okay, overextend a little bit there. This is a few Zealots for pretty much nothing.
StarDust realizes an attack is imminent.
The Archons to Archons. Okay, so, well, there was 2 to 2 now.
Yeah, an extra Colossus and a lot of extra Zealots. And +2 advantage.
The Zealots are a big deal, a very big deal. They're not exactly the most amazing fighting unit, but they're going to tank quite a lot and try and chew through this army. Pushing forwards now. Time Warp's not allowing any of those Colossi at the back to dance away, but at the same time, StarDust was warping in some Zealots on the right-hand side to deal with the focus fire of these Colossi. Look at them, they're not really shooting at the main army, but it doesn't matter because the overwhelming Zealot numbers at the front for San were just too much, and they really did win in that fight there.
Oh, San always picks the right time, the right fight. Always seems to be able to manage to do that well. And as you can see, he's broken StarDust, he's broken the Colossus line, the Immortal line, and the Archon line. San, the excellent Protoss that he is going to take map number 1.
Yeah, he's a scary guy. There you go. G to the G. San, game number 1 falls in his favor in PvP. And it was, again, so down the wire. Very difficult to call exactly how that was going to go, but Zealot numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, that was, well, quite convincing, to be honest, from San. There was no real big moments in that game. It was quite a slow-paced game for the majority of it. Only a couple of edges between the both of them, but a very decisive strike. Those 8 gateways that he put down early on is, you know, stopping of the pro production and a beautiful fight by San. I wonder if StarDust shouldn't have given up the ramp so easy, maybe. Should have stood strong closer towards his natural.
Yeah, perhaps.
And time warp the ramp. And then it would be harder for those Zealots to get a proper fight.
I mean, I really loved how StarDust was warping in those Zealots on the right-hand side to mess around with the Colossus AI, but it still didn't matter. It still didn't give him enough. So I think, you know, I think you bring up a good point. Yielding the ramp, yielding that high ground is certainly something to consider from StarDust's point of view.
All right, well, San moves just 1 game away from advancing in first place and really pushing the Koreans forward when it comes to the ratio between Koreans and Europeans. And San, who was able to get a semi-final finish last season, is definitely looking to repeat that success. The thing with San is, if you look overall in his WCS history, it's like challenger, 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 Premier League round of 4.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you think about it more, is that he struggles when he needs to play from Korea, but as soon as he gets in the studio, he's one of the world's best.
Yeah, he is scary, scary. He's ranked 4. We have rank 11 for StarDust. This is 2 of the best Protoss right now, facing off against one another. Let's get into it. Spawning up to the top left as our red Protoss. Representing my insanity, it's StarDust.
There's the hype music, it's back.
And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss representing your Flash Wolves. It's San. Who is actually my second choice along with first in my ESL fantasy team.
StarDust is mine.
Oh, so we're actually facing off against one another.
We are fighting against each other in the battle of fantasy teams. And currently you are winning.
Sorry, man. Sounds pretty good.
Don't worry. I wasn't fighting to see who gets through first or second place. I'm fighting to who wins this bloody thing, and I think StarDust will do it.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Well, actually, I think first will do it, but then StarDust is my second pick.
Yeah, I've got first as well. So we're on even Stevens with that one. First is looking good.
StarDust.
Did he just do that little...
Well, he put down an 11 gateway.
Oh, he did.
Which is quite a fast gateway compared to his opponent. Which means that he can... I mean, there's multiple things you can do with a fast gateway. Obviously, you get the cybernetics call faster, you can get tech down faster, you can rush out units faster. You could go for a super fast Stargate, super fast DT. Anything you try to do is heightened, basically.
Yeah, with the double gases going down now here as well for both players. It kind of evolves out looking like a relatively normal build for StarDust, but as you mentioned, with just things a little bit quicker.
It's like a 10-second speed advantage.
Yeah, so you do have to be careful in San's shoes, certainly. As San, though, he's probably played against this many, many times. He's not sending out a scout, though, because that's just not what he does at these early stages in PvP. He's going to go now, which
so
is...
Cybercore is 5 seconds, 6 seconds advantage.
Wow. All right.
6 seconds. Not a lot.
No.
Not a lot. And there's a 2-probe deficit, so he's, you know...
Is that worth it?
Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah, we will. Yes, we will. poking on out now, whilst we have. Also, StarDust was just scouting out a little bit of his main. Sorry. Yeah, a little bit of his main and heading on forwards. As they're actually going to pass one another. So, all is fine. Not really knowing that the scout's going to be coming along. But they will be looking at gas timings and how much is there.
Yeah, so Cybercore completes, but no real commitment to anything here. Not even a third pylon coming in, so no rush tech at all. So the reason for 11 gate is yet to be determined. I have no idea. Currently, it's, you know, I think that San's in a better position, personally.
I agree. Yeah, as you get past those earlier stages, like, what are you really doing with it, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Mothership core out faster for San as well. There was a Chrono Boost thrown into the Warp Gate research of StarDust, which was spotted by San, but he's at 2 gateways anyway, and will throw down the Twilight Council behind double gateway. And then we see another gateway by StarDust, and another one. So it's going to be 3 gateway with another Chrono Boost in the Cyber Core.
That's a lot of Chrono Boost into that.
Yeah, so it's 3 gateways versus a player who's gone 1 gate and blink and just destroyed Stardust Probe in the middle of the map. So this is pretty cool for San, I think. All he needs to do is get blink, defend, counter attack,
and then be all right. He actually got the. Did he get the first shot just then? Well, yeah. So he could have even won that little battle there for a second, but he had to be a bit careful about what was going to be reinforcing. So wise to pull back. There could have been a second stalker reinforcing quicker.
Oops! Catches the probe in the middle.
Hello.
So San knows that something's going on. You wouldn't just send another probe out like that after losing the first one.
Wait a minute. Did he see that one?
And he catches the probe. Great catch by San.
Very nice.
Fantastic catch. And the Mothership Core is looking for a scout here, and StarDust is looking to eliminate the Mothership Core to prevent any photon overcharge to be used, obviously, on the other side of the map.
Well, Mothership Core pokes in and sees the 3 gateways.
Yeah, he's just got to get out. So there is an opportunity for StarDust because there's no photon overcharge. And
that's nice.
And if you think about what San has, is just a couple of stalkers, 3 to 6.
Like trying
and one
to...
stalker's trapped, so it's actually 2 to 6.
Yeah, that's not very good. That's not very good at all here for San. He's going to have to control this very, very diligently. You have to stick around the mineral line. Like, holding this ramp I don't think is the best idea at this point with the numbers vastly against you. Although warping in straight away, dealing with these numbers, StarDust himself may have overextended at that point.
Yeah, that was a good understanding of how to take the fight from San.
Yeah.
Backs off, 5 versus 5. Blink is almost done, and that is a game changer. StarDust doesn't even know what this is, but by the unit count, is starting to get a little bit worried. Obviously, he's backed off his 3 gateway pressure. He's getting a Robo in case this is DTs. He's gone home.
Robo's,
yeah.
Like, Robo's the overall safe. Dark Shrine? Dark Shrine? All right. I was about to say Robo is the overall safe defense from what's about to come, right? Because you get the Observer for Dark Templars, and if it is like a Blink Stalker attack after you saw so many Stalkers at the top, then you just go straight into the Immortals.
Right. But it's like the reason why he's gone Dark Templar is because he knows he's going to be on the back foot to whatever San does next.
Yeah.
And if it is Blink, then he's definitely on the back foot, and he's going to be defending. So if he's defending and San is putting pressure on, then he can slip a DT in, and the game can change. But for San, he actually finds a pylon, which is where the Dark Temple is going to come from.
That's a nice start for San. A nice start. Both players are actually going to expand, and San is yet to build detection, correct? Or, oh, no, he did get the Robo.
But it's on the other side of the map. So DT still could do a lot here.
Yeah, it's still far away. He'll eventually spot
that's
it.
A really fast Robo Bay.
That is very fast. Off the,
really fast.
Whilst the
and
next
it's going to get spotted
down
immediately.
So at least he can make another Observer instantly and be strong at home. He's even positioning his Stalkers in such a way to block on the ramp just in case there was one already out.
Yeah, he's getting an Observer. The DTs won't do anything in this game.
Yeah.
Robo Bay is so interesting, so fast here.
All right, well, he actually killed off the Observer in the main, but he did see the Robo Bay, right? So
I wonder if StarDust is planning a push with Colossus. Like a 2-base push.
Yeah, it could be.
San matches his opponent's Robotics Bay, by the way, which is I think is good, obviously.
Yeah, wise move. If you try and do something at this point with like a Stargate into Fleet Beacon, it's just ridiculously hard with the economy you have set up right now. So just going toe-to-toe with your opponent.
So the Robotics Bay is finished, but look how it's really difficult to build Colossus and Thermal Lance. So he's just going to have to build Colossus for now and build that count up and then get Thermal Lance later.
Yeah, it does take a while. Without the second base economy, trying to tech up to this is very, very strenuous. So he's just producing all probes and probes and probes, making sure his economy is going to be powered up where he can. And even an actual Immortal coming out for San as well. So he's just matching his opponent's unit count pretty well at this point.
Right, I'm just interested to see what StarDust has planned here. He's getting an Observer inside San's base. And has a look, sees Colossus. Great clear up from San, who's playing very well, I think, in this series. And where's that +1 starting for StarDust?
It looks like not so much just yet. It's a little bit of an odd edit. There we go. He throws down the pylon next to it. It's like, oh yeah, Heaven Forge. I forgot about that. So
very similar positions for both players. If you look at the units tab again, very identical game.
Oh, nice
like
catch.
equal probes, pretty much same army. Only difference is 1 sentry and the Colossus, which is about to be matched by San anyway. So very close game, very similar again.
Yeah, hallucinated Phoenix just being utilized from the 2 sentries here by San to try and keep an eye constantly on what his opponent's doing. May even see the movement out in the middle, but could have just scraped past that there. As for now, not really repositioning his army just yet. StarDust also going home. And the hallucinated Phoenix is just going to, once again, spot everything that's pretty much going on. Hasn't seen the Thermal Lance in production just yet, though.
Do you reckon he'll put the Colossus in the Warp Prism?
He could.
I think he might.
He might actually...
And then drop onto the natural and then try to spray down. It's a big risk, especially against a player with Blink, so I'm not too sure what the use of this is going to be.
He might try the... Oh, it's difficult, though, because his opponent has Blink.
Yeah.
So how do you do this?
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe that could be an option, but he's going to go down the left-hand side with the Warp Prism.
Even the harassment's slightly difficult.
Both players adding on the same amount of gateways at the same time. These Stalkers are going to kind of walk themselves up towards a Colossus in the middle and then back off because they can't kill it.
Yep. Not too much done there. 3 gates for either one. And look at the production tab. It's almost exactly identical.
No, it's they're playing exactly the same.
Yeah. So
it's very mirrored, and there's no massive difference between the two.
Yeah, the only real difference is that Warp Prism, really, at this point. The charge is away, obviously, for San, but the Warp Prism.
Oh, this is a nice move, I think, from San with the Stalkers. He's going to blink inside the main as the units are so far out. This is the first really decisive move by either one of them, and this is great. Stalkers become so useless as the game goes on, but he's getting so much value from them.
Gonna walk right on out of there. He's like, recalled?
The natural.
Okay, bye-bye then.
To the natural and get more probes.
Yeah, he could do. So that's quite nice. Even if it's just 1 or 2, it's a nice little bit of harassment. He didn't even necessarily need to take 6 in there. He could have gone for the magic number of 4 Stalkers and then just blinked in. But he gets out with every single one, so good move there by San.
And San is going up to 8 gates again. 8 gates and Tempo Archives is down. Second Tempo Archives, which is a mistake by San. Oopsie daisy.
A bit odd, but...
And third is down as well.
But the Zealots are on the way in that Warp Prism, and it doesn't get spotted by that pylon down to the south because it's only just started to warp in. If it had been fully done. Oh, he actually pulled back.
He's got a DT in that Warp Prism too.
Yeah, he could have got past there, but decides not to for now.
Again, very similar, but the upgrades are much closer than the last game. And a couple of extra gateways are going to come in for StarDust too, so very close between the both of them. And like I said, these two players do play this out a lot. No player really looking to make a big move up towards the Stargate and towards the Fleet Beacon, as the one player that makes a drastic difference opens up the opportunity for the other to strike and to kill. So they're just doing the same thing, and if they do the same thing, it actually just comes down to the engagement. Who takes the better engagement, who has the better position, who slightly molds the composition better, but they're doing exactly the same.
Yeah, and once again, fully enough when it comes to those fights, and Colossus numbers are the same, Archon numbers are the same, you know, Zealots swarming in, and how they engage a fight is a very, very big, important thing. So the smallest part of the composition becomes
StarDust is planning a fight here. He's planning to hit this third. He hasn't taken his own third yet.
That's true.
His units before were positioned to take it, which would suggest that San is expecting that to be taken, and there's a 7 probe difference between the both. San has 7 probes more, but StarDust is the one who's looking to move out.
He had a little bit of an army supply
and
advantage.
right now,
he
doesn't know about this. A Stalker from San sees the lack of third. And this is big. He immediately starts to add on more units, and he's got to start thinking about where this attack can come from. Because he's about to get hit.
And he's going to try and manipulate, I think, with the Warp Prism. Again, Zealot positioning against Colossi. If he tries to drop them across it, That could be a move.
I think Stan might be okay.
I think so too.
He has an extra Colossus.
Yeah.
It depends on the position here.
All right, so he's going to have to set himself up in a good concave. The army of Stardust is still pretty big. San slightly supply block during this, gets himself out of it.
Stardust has to win this fight, otherwise he loses the game. He's so far behind with his third.
He knows that Warp Prism's important. San spotted it there, going up to the high ground for a second with those Stalkers. He was looking for an opportunity, but he didn't find it there.
Another Colossus is about to pop. That means, well, that Archon's stupid. But there's 2 Colossus now, advantage for San.
Yeah, that's a lot of firepower, a lot of firepower. It needs to enter the fight. He needs to get a good concave. He really does. The Warp Prism's going to poke forwards, get a good gauge of where its opponent army is. And all of the Zealots actually at the back were caught behind some of the Archons there for Stardust as this engagement started. So a lot of his army got shredded up. Stardust is trying to use the warp in. That's a big, big warp in there to try and deal with the Colossi on the flank. San now with the army supply still, though, was ripping through a lot of that army. He's still sitting on top of that army supply advantage, 59 against 36. And with the Colossi advantage as well, Stardust is not breaking this.
San is so good. So good. He defends it. He understands.
Oh,
he cleans up. GG. San advances on in first place, and brilliant, really brilliant play from both of these players. High level PvP, but San just knows when to attack and does it right, and then defends the same attack easily. Like,
yeah,
he's so good positionally and just understands this matchup to a T.
I really think that could have gone a bit better for Stardust if his Zealots had been in proper position to fully engage at the very end. A lot of them were trapped at the back, kind of dancing around, not really doing too much. And as they're dancing around at the back, they're very, very clumped, not charging forwards. So the Colossi are doing massive amounts of damage to them very quickly and vaporizing them fast.
Well, I think both of these players know that they both are probably most likely going through, which is why it's all fun and games with the Koreans, because they're both expecting to go through anyway. But it is San in first place, which, to be fair, to be honest, the difference between being first and playing a second place finisher and being a second place finisher and playing a first place finisher is not that much different. They're all amazing players that we have in the top 8. But the big question is now Stardust versus LiveZerg again.
Yeah, that's true. We saw how it happened first time around, but you bring a really good point up with the first places and second places. I mean, if you think about who we have in second place, there's people like MC and 4GG in there. So, but San's not scared of those guys.
Who would you rather play? 4GG, MC, Vortex, Wellmu. Come on. I mean, every single one of these guys is awesome.
All right. Well, without further ado, here in Group D, let's hear from the winner of the group. It's San.
Okay, we have a small problem because we don't have a microphone for the interpreter. So if the stage manager could just fetch us one, that would be fantastic. I will ask the question whilst that's happening, because obviously it will be over here by the time that gets here. Well done, San. Congratulations. Really good play. Apollo said that he felt it was probably the best PvP, the highest level PvP play that he's seen so far. So how do you step up for a game against Stardust like that?
아폴로가 말한 게 PVP 본 거 중에서 진짜 제일 잘했던 것 같은데 왜 이렇게 잘하는지.
일단 칭찬 일단 감사드리고 대마에서 역시 동영이랑 같이 정신과 수련의 방에서 연습만 한 효과가 있는 것 같아요.
First of all, thank you to Apollo. I think it's because I really focused on training, and when I'm training in Taiwan, me and Lenok, we are training so hard there, so I think that's why.
Helped a lot. And obviously the game itself, it seemed like you knew exactly when to attack at every single moment. How do you train for that?
진짜 순간순간마다 언제 공격하고 언제 빠지고 어떻게 해야 되는지 너무 잘하는 것 같았었는데 그걸 특별히 연습하려면 어떤 노력이 필요한지.
저는 따로 특별히 그냥 노력하는 건 아니고 그냥 순간순간 그냥 동물처럼 그냥 본능적으로 하는 것 같아요.
I don't really train that. It's just I'm like a beast. I'm just do what I feel like I have to do. So yeah.
Okay, new nickname for San, the Beast, and I think it suits him very well. Talk to me about last season, because last season we had high expectations for you. We thought you were going to go all the way. You got to the semi-finals, but you just fell short. Has that made you more determined this season to win the whole thing?
지난 시즌에 좀 아깝게 떨어졌었는데 그래서 이번에 더욱더 연습을 많이 하고 준비를 잘해서 왔나요?
예, 이번에는 지난 시즌과 다르게 캐스파컵도 있어가지고 예, 더욱 의욕이 돋더라고요. 그래서 더욱 많이 준비했어요. 캐스파컵이요.
Yeah, of course. After the last season, I really trained a lot to win this season, and also I trained a lot because of the Casper Cups. So.
Okay, well, congratulations and well done, and good luck in the round of 8. You're through to the quarterfinals. San, the Beast, is in the round of 8 yet again. Second season in a row, and we wish him all the very best. The draw is coming up a little bit later. We still have one more game to go, though, and it's coming up after the breaks. Will it be Live Zerg? Will it be StarDust? The last spot is up for grabs.